What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So, I do have a slew of Kamen Rider Geats content planned. If you noticed, actually, a lot of my recent videos have been quite short. Well, technical reasons, basically, our house needed to change internet, but it took us a month before we could do that. So, now I'm back, basically. So, yeah. But in this video, I actually want to talk about the supposed main protagonist of Kamen Rider Geats, which is Ace Ukiyo. Now, Loki, we do know that it's really Kawa who's the main protag. We all know that. But we're gonna do that in a separate video, but we're gonna focus on the titular character Kamen Rider Geats. Now, there's been about 5 episodes out, so you can catch up very quickly if you need to, because there could be some spoilers. It probably would say something that's gonna be very crucial to the plot. Even with the 5 episodes that are out, there are so many plot heavy elements to this video that probably, you should watch first, get started with Kamen Rider Geats before continuing with this video. So with that said, again, spoilers ahead. I've already warned you. Go ahead and watch. Come back when you're ready. Otherwise, enjoy the video. So, our main protagonist, the Ace, or our supposed main protagonist, Ace, so we already see him, receive the Desire Driver at the very beginning of the show. And when Tsumuri congratulates him on being chosen as a Kamen Rider, he says, I know, right? So this also happens in episode 2. The same thing happens. He receives the desired driver again, and he says, "I know," again after being congratulated on being becoming Kamen Rider by Tsumuri. So it turns out that Ace has already been competing in the Desire Grand Prix, and at least by the end of by episode 2, we already discovered that he has won. At least the previous one, which obviously happened around the end of the first episode. So he basically wins the previous Desire Grand Prix, but assuming that he has been already in the Desire Grand Prix before that, the time that he receives the Desire Driver at the very first scene of the show. So we could assume that it's also happened before that he's joined the Desire Grand Prix. So we don't know exactly how many times he's done that, but at least during episode 2, we see his desire card, which Tsumuri held. So he she gives him the desire driver again, and we see them, have lunch together at a fancy restaurant, basically a fancy hotel. And she looks at his desire card, which writes, "A world where I'm the star." No, I guess that's how he got famous, but he could already be in, someone who's quite famous even before this desire thing happened. And there's actually a mystery to that, because Tsumuri asks him, like, why are you so interested in discovering the secrets of the Desire Grand Prix? So he says, right, that there is a limit to what kind of desires can come true. So probably he's trying to get to the bottom of all this, or at least he's testing the limits of the Desire Grand Prix. And with that, we could probably get some answers as to what it is, right? In the previous video, I did talk about what the Desire Grand Prix is, so if you want to check that out, I'm gonna put a link down in the description. Now, let's talk about his character. You know, So he seems to be quite an arrogant guy, but he's also very skilled at fighting. We don't know what else he can do, but uh, despite his air of arrogance, you can say that he is still deep down inside a good guy, because at the end of episode 2, he donates to charity, for some sick kid, and that sick kid is kind of, important to the plot of episode 2, but I'm not gonna spoil that part. At least you gotta watch it for yourselves. So he donates to save a sick child. So again, he's not entirely a bad person, but he's also not a completely good guy, because he used, well, basically underhanded tactics to get a the boost buckle from another person. So he is, at least in a morally gray area, but I guess anything to win the desired Grand Prix, perhaps. And well, it's not his intention to save the world. It's just part of being the winner of the desired Grand Prix, because you need to defeat the Jamato, or at least clear the game, in order to rewrite the world. And at least, if there were civilians who became casualties during the Desire Grand Prix, so they could still come back. So again, you know, it's not an entirely bad thing, unless you're a Kamen Rider. So you need to watch the show to find out why it's not the case with the riders themselves. So we also see Ace usually carry around this uh, gold coin that seems to be an artifact from the Roman era, from the Roman age, from the age of the Roman Empire. And uh, in episode 3, he explains to Nago, aka Neon. So uh, when she says that she wants to be noticed by someone like her Prince Charming, we could say. So he kind of sympathizes with her, like he's also trying to be noticed by someone, which is probably why he chose to be a star of the stars of the stars. And yes, that's really what he calls himself. So what happens, or at least what we think happens, is that this this reason could probably be the main thing. This could probably be the main reason why Ace is fighting, to win the Desire Grand Prix, so that he can also find a specific person. But you know what? If that's the case, he could just, wish for that person to meet him again. But I guess that's kind of a limitation of the Desire Grand Prix. So we don't really exactly know why he didn't just wish for that person to meet him. This person could probably be related to the gold coin that he's carrying. You know, it could probably be his lucky charm. He probably got it somewhere. You probably have to be rich in order to find something like that. So he probably could already be filthy, stinking rich even before, becoming the star of the stars of the stars. So yeah, he's basically a celebrity, but even before that, we don't really know what he's been doing or what he was, but nonetheless, you know, he's probably rich enough to get a hold of that coin anyway, or at least it was given to him by that person. So I guess that person, this is just pure speculation for now, by the way. So the person who gave Ace his gold coin, if that was the case, probably have been someone who had joined the Desire Grand Prix in the past, but failed. Again, this is just pure speculation, so don't call it a spoiler. Not just yet, who knows? But, I'm just putting out there, it's out in the air, so we don't know who it is yet. Uh, Maybe someone who's related to him, maybe family, maybe a friend, maybe even a former lover, who knows? But nonetheless, someone who's important to him, and probably someone who he's reminded of every time he looks at his lucky gold coin. So I guess we could say anything really, but nothing's finalized. So as someone who's very experienced with the Desire Grand Prix, presumably having joined several times, he knows a lot of the ins and outs of the game, and he often he often is the one who provides us at least a bit of exposition in terms of explanation as to some of the mechanics of the Desire Grand Prix. Like, for example, in episode 5, he explains that the raised buckles, especially the ones that give us the forms like the Magnum and the Zombie, you know, they do have certain affinities with riders. Like, as he said, the Magnum is most compatible with Geats, although technically the other riders could also use any of those buckles. I mean, we do see Geats using the zombie raise buckle, but even though the Magnum is kind of the signature uh, raise buckle for Geats, Ace actually uses the zombie raise buckle in such an expertly way that probably even Michinaga, aka Kamen Rider Buffa, doesn't probably use it. He just uses brute force. He relies so much on his chainsaw, but Ace knows how to use all the raised buckles, presumably. And even though Michinaga calls those other armed buckles like the arrow, shield, even the water, which is kind of one of the first armed buckles that we see in the show. So even if he calls them like trash tier, I guess, so he is such an expert in the Desire Grand Prix that he knows how to use them without, considering anything to be trash. Like, it really depends on the user, and he also knows that there is a training area, so I guess he's spent a lot of time improving his skills, which could probably explain why he's so good at fighting and why he knows so much about the enemies, or at least he can easily make up strategies on how to defeat them because he probably has been in those challenges before. Well, we can also assume that not all the challenges in the Desire Grand Prix are the same, but there are at least some challenges that are easy to understand, and the lights are flickering, but let's ignore that. So, again, this is due to Ace being, probably very experienced, most likely very experienced with the DGP, so he knows a lot of the ins and outs, but not everything, which is why he probably still continues to fight. So, let me know what you think of Ace. So, is he the best Kamen Rider protagonist so far? Is he probably the best rider among the Reiwa era riders? Or maybe you dislike him. Even if you dislike him, let me know in the comments section. So I'm definitely looking forward to other more episodes involving Ace, and what kinds of mysteries does he hold, and how is he going to win the Desire Grand Prix again, or Who knows what could happen. So anyways, again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And as always, as well, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.